I'm Danny, and this is the Scream Princess podcast. Hello there, everybody. I'm Danny, and you are watching the Scream Princess podcast. And this is my final guest of 2025. And we are going out with a bang. We're going to do a little bit of Christmas as well in here. But Simon Bamford, who I'm not going to say best known as Butterball Cenobite in Hellraiser, but that's kind of where it really took off, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that would be true. That would be true. And I have to say, this is the very first ever interview I have done horror based with a pink Christmas tree and a little
Oh,
pink Bambi.
so I'm like a contradiction. Like I'm very much horror and I love bats and all things like dark, but I'm very pink and glittery and I like Barbie too. So I've got the grave and the pink Christmas tree. There's chihuahuas on here as well, dressed as like I don't know if you can chihuahuas dressed. I got these in Harrods years ago. Chihuahuas dressed as
Oh,
reindeer
wow.
stuff. Yeah.
I've got a Butterball bauble.
Have you?
I went to a show in the States years ago, and there was this company making horror themed baubles, and they had a Butterball one which they gave to me. So
How
every year
amazing
that
is that? Like you go somewhere and you find yourself on a ball. I was going to say your face, but it kind of doesn't really look like your face because, Butterball
no.
got a
No,
very
so every year we have the family argument about whether that part of horror should be on a Christmas tree, and
yeah.
I always win.
Yeah, I used to have a black Christmas tree, but my baubles were very, very camp. They were like kind of all rainbow colors, and I had like a turquoise dinosaur with sequins on his back, and there was rainbows and
Ah,
there was Barbies, and it was all very, very like very campy. And then the cats last year killed the black Christmas tree. So
all
they were
right.
kittens last year, and they kind of took the tree out. So I've got a kind of a toned down tree this year in the other room. This one is still pink, pink as
My cat used to climb to the top of the Christmas tree and then go, okay, how do I get down?
uh,
Stuck, stuck.
mine haven't done that. They've been pretty good climbing, touch wood, but they do keep stealing baubles. But they don't really, they just kind of chase them around. And I keep finding them in their food bowls. So they take the
Right.
baubles and put them in the bowls and or under the sofa. So they'll probably find their way in here, usually up the curtains. So you may meet
Oh yeah,
them.
yeah,
You may meet them.
yeah. Fabulous. I've got a little white Westie downstairs, so I'll keep him away
Oh,
because he
oh,
loves cats. I'm trying
oh,
to I'm
does he?
trying to teach him about cats and how cats can be friends and they don't have to be chased or be aggressive. So, but it's a work in progress.
Well, I don't know. Cats and dogs, they're doing what comes naturally. It's instinct.
Oh my God, I've just realized you've got a Wednesday top on as well. I
Yes,
love that series. Oh
yes.
my
And the
God.
podcast goes out on every Wednesday. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
also for that. And also it's freezing up here. I'm in the northeast. So I went to the beach this morning. I've had a beach walk and I wrapped up and I was actually too hot. I kind of overlaid and I've come home and I hadn't had the heating on, so it's freezing. So it's on now. It'll take a while to kick in. Hence,
I
hence
was
the
watching
blanket
oh with the bats on it,
with the
but
bats
also
on it.
pink.
Yes, I like to mix Halloween and Christmas, and
I was
sparkle.
watching Jenny Ortega, is it? Jenna Ortega
Yes.
To Kill a Unicorn or The Last
Oh, I
Unicorn
haven't
or
seen that yet.
it was bizarre. It's
Was
very
it?
difficult to work out what the demographic is because
I think the
like
demographic sounds like it would be me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You would be perfect for it because
Yeah,
it's kind of got the unicorns, but it's also got some quite graphic horror in it as well. And
amazing.
so my rainbow unicorn or my little unicorn or whatever that is, no, that doesn't fit that demographic at all. And I can
Oh,
see a lot a lot of kids going, "Oh yeah," or little girls. I know that's sexist, isn't it? But saying, "Oh,
yeah.
I want to see the unicorn
The unicorn
film."
film. And especially because they might have watched Wednesday and Jenna Ortega's in it. So as an
Yeah.
actress that's kind of in stuff that they
She's very
might.
good. She plays quite young. It's very
Yeah.
interesting to see her playing so differently to Wednesday. But
Yeah, I think that's the
she's
thing
good.
that differs a lot in the States and here. Like they tend to cast people as their age, but in the States, I mean, every school kid in an American TV series is 30, It's like,
Uh-huh.
which is great because you get away with being young for longer.
Yeah, although I've been reading this article that's been on all the news recently about the Harry Potter actress, whose name I can't remember, who was 37. She played
Oh,
screaming,
yes.
and
Moaning
she was
Myrtle. I don't know what her real name
scream,
was.
she was 37 when she played that
Yeah.
role,
But she
and she
did
was
look
playing.
great.
She
And
looked
she looked like a
great,
teenager. So,
and I think the idea that she looked slightly like a teenager but slightly odd.
yeah.
I think that age thing kind of played in her favor. I was always a little bit like that. I always looked very young for my age,
Yeah.
which was always very frustrating.
It's frustrating when you're young and you want to get into places and you're getting
Oh
ID'd
yeah.
and you're not old enough. But then when you get older, like now, if I go to, buy alcohol and they press the, doesn't need to check for ID, and I'm like, why would you not ask me?
Yeah.
Do I look that old?
I went to the States. I went to the States for the first time when I was just before I was 21,
Right.
and I wasn't allowed to go into any bars and I wasn't allowed to
No.
drink. And having been doing it for like over 2 years in the UK, it was very frustrating
It's
because everybody
bizarre,
else was
isn't
going
it?
in.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, the thing is, kids are going to drink anyway.
yeah.
You're going to drink when you're 18. Like, they're going to have parties. So what difference does it make if they're doing it in a bar? Like, it should be
Yeah. And I did in the States. I just had to do it at home when everybody else was going out
Yeah,
and having a nice time. It
yeah.
was with drama school that I went. But then I went again when I was about 40, and I went with a load of friends, and I got carded.
I'd love
So
that.
I was delighted.
Yes.
But one of the friends I was with, she also got carded, and the waitress said she thought she was my mum and she was younger than me. She was mortified, as
No.
you can imagine.
Oh, do you know, I went into this isn't an age thing. We went into Greg's the other day. I was with my boyfriend and he ordered a peach melba and I said, "Oh, well, I'll have a donut." And then I said, "I'll get his aunt a cake as well." We were going to his aunt's house and he said, "Oh, I'll make that two peach melbas." And the lady looked at him and he said, "They're not both for me." And she went, "I can tell by looking at you, they're both for you." And I was like, I don't think she meant it like it came out, but it just sounded like she'd called him fat. So yeah, you don't always want the staff to say what they
Anything. Yeah,
anything,
I was
anything.
always that person digging the hole and then trying to dig my way out of it. Always, always. I've learned it now. I'm in my 60s. Finally, I have actually
Yeah, but
learnt
you
to
don't,
switch
so
on
you
that
don't look like
filter.
you're in your 60s either
Thank you. Thank
at
you. But
all.
I can switch on that filter, but I know from my parents who are in their 90s that I've got about 15 years now of actually
Uh,
not putting my foot in it before the filter starts to switch off through age. And
right.
then you go all the way back to just being unfiltered and saying all the wrong things.
Well, I do sometimes think I'm quite unfiltered because I say things before I've really thought them out, and sometimes it's not wise. But then I think, well, actually, you can't knock me for my honesty. It's everything's out there, you know? So
Yeah.
there's that. I don't know. I don't know. That's my experience.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes the filter gets in the way. You get in your own head because your brain's going, "Oh, don't say this and don't say that," and
Yeah.
should I say this? And sometimes it's much easier just to kind of say. I've got into trouble with it. I did a convention over in the States last year or the year before. I don't know. Can't remember what I was saying, but I had Craig Sheffer from Nightbreed sitting next to me, and he said to me at one point, "You can't say that anymore." Oh no, you're right. I can't. Sorry.
Yeah. Because everybody now is too offended by things. So
Yeah.
you have to be really careful.
Yeah.
I love Ricky Gervais though. He's like, you can't like, I'm not going to not say stuff because somebody's offended. That's their choice to be offended. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, as far as comedians go, he's probably the only one I could sit and watch him for hours because he's kind of right with a lot of
Yeah.
it. With a lot
Yeah.
of
And
it.
I mean, for a comedian, it must be almost impossible to actually. I mean, can you imagine? You just have to say it's a chain of thought
Yeah.
process, and if you're then having to kind of decide, oh, can I say that? Can't I say that? Although comedians I know from working with a few have the most incredible brains. I worked with Ken Dodd for
Oh,
a
wow.
while, and he had the most incredible brain. His shows are renowned for going on for hours and hours and hours and
Mm.
hours, way past longer than they thought.
That's
But he would
amazing because
say,
people would never do that now.
no, no. But he would
So,
say the same jokes on a matinee as he would on the evening show, but he would say them in completely different orders because in the first 20 minutes, he was judging where the audience were and what
right.
kind of things they were laughing at. And then he would change the order of the jokes according to that. When you think how many jokes he was telling in the space of
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours, how did he not remember that he'd already told that joke
Yeah,
in
that's
the
crazy.
second show? His
Yeah.
brain was just incredible, and so many comedians are like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I'd be useless. And I'd be like, I've forgotten my lines. Now I don't know what to do.
yeah,
Take me, put the curtain down. Because that's the thing, isn't it? If you haven't done it in the same order, how
yeah,
you remember it?
yeah,
Especially
exactly,
if
exactly.
you
Can you
might be doing
imagine?
a tour of like, 2 shows a day every day for however long. Yeah, that's great. That's yeah.
Can you
I reckon he'd
imagine
have been a
doing?
good poker player as well, or like a card counter. I feel like those
Yeah,
kinds of minds
yeah.
would
Whereas what
be,
they're doing is actually throwing the cards up and just grabbing the right ones in the right
yeah,
order.
in the right
Could you
order.
imagine doing a film and just going, "Oh, you just say the lines in any order you want to, but just don't repeat them"?
Can you
So,
imagine the director
no.
stood there with steam coming out of his ears, not knowing what to do with his cast? I mean, that's because you do theatre, don't you? You started out in theatre.
I started out with theatre. I did theatre for a long, long time. I don't do it now because my doctor told me to stop.
Oh
He said
no.
it was too much. Film's so much easier, I mean, it's not easy, but it's easier in that the time that you're giving to it, and the time you're giving to that stress
Yeah.
is a lot less. I mean,
Well,
there's a hell of a lot of prep at home,
yeah, I mean, I've
and
never done theatre apart from like school plays. I was in a couple, like, I was only even actually in one school play with lines because I was a ballet dancer at school. So any
oh wow,
dancers, anyone who went to ballet school always had to dance, and we never got to do lines in school plays. We always had to just dance. So I think there was one play that I was once in, and it was fine. But I feel like I don't usually forget my lines on set. I usually know my lines, and I'm pretty good. But you've got that kind of if you do, you can just do another take. But
yeah,
theatre would terrify me. Like lipstick in my teeth, I can feel it.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like theatre. I know actors love that kind of rush of, well, you just have to kind of carry on.
yeah.
But I think I would just freeze if I forgot, and then I wouldn't know how to carry on, or I'd be completely lost. So I
I
like,
have a similar thing with I always forget my lines when I've repeated them. So on set, if you get to kind of seventh or eighth take,
mm,
then my brain's starting to go, we've done this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to
yeah,
start playing up, and then that's when I start losing, I suppose, losing my concentration.
yeah.
But I did it once. I played Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors a couple of times actually, but one time was the first UK tour, and we'd been on tour for about 3 months. And there's a section of it where Seymour's on his own on the front of the stage, and he's got this little aria. It's kind of almost operatic. And he goes, "My future's starting. I've got to let it stick with this plant and G my something, something will grow." Anyway, there it was. And it goes on and builds and builds and builds. And it was nice. It was a nice little section. And then after about 3 months, I went on and it all started and I started and suddenly my brain went completely blank, and there you are on your own on stage
Yeah.
with a song that's playing, an aria that's going, and I just went, "My future's starting, la 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 la," and it's fast as well. uh, all I could see was the band in front of me in the pit just in hysterics. I just couldn't remember any of it, none of it. Oh, it was terrifying, really terrifying, but I
Oh
think the brain
no.
just goes, "Nah, enough
Yeah.
of this. We've done this enough.
Yeah.
I need for my own sanity. Let's move on."
I always feel bad when it's like I've had all like I always feel like I get my close-ups first usually and then I've done the lines and it's always the first few you're a little bit more nervous. You're like, right, can I remember it? Especially if it's quite a chunk. And then you're like, oh yes, I know it. Like it's great. And then you do yours and then it goes on someone else's close-up and then you forget your lines and you ruin it for them. And I always feel really
Yeah,
bad. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'd rather I ruined my own takes, than like somebody else's. But
I had the opposite a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I was doing a film over in Hungary called The Black Eyed Children
yeah,
2, the sequel, and they'd done a whole load of close-ups on me for my first section, my first speech, and they kept doing them and doing them and doing, but the director wasn't saying anything. I was thinking he obviously wants something different from me, but I don't know what.
yeah,
So I was trying to change it a little bit, and I felt in my own head it was a little bit over dramatic the way I was doing it, but it was written very dramatically. Anyway, we did it, and he finished, and he went on to somebody else, and I was feeding her lines, and suddenly I was doing it completely naturalistically, and I was thinking, "Oh no, now I'm doing what he's wanting," because the camera's not on me. He didn't come back and redo it, but I suddenly felt like I should have done that before. This is what he
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah. But
Um,
he should have directed you.
he should have
That's
done.
kind of their job.
Sometimes people get a little bit nervous of that,
Yeah, that's
and
especially
I
if you're working with a director that's sort of relatively new. I find
yeah,
like they don't want to tell you, but I'm like, no, I want you to tell me because
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if I'm doing what you want if you don't tell me. But they sometimes don't tell you, and you think, well, I don't, and then you kind of walk off going, I don't know how I
You
feel
don't
about
have,
that, or
and you don't know until like months, months,
no,
half a year later when you see it.
I'd rather
I'm
get
the
the
same.
notes, like
I
we're
always say to
trained as an
them,
actor that our job is, we if you direct us, we'll do something else. Yeah.
exactly.
But
I've always been like that. And I always give them a little speech. Please do tell me, if you want more from me, if you want less from me, if you want me to
mm,
do it different, please tell
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I did a thing playing Roddy McDowall in a documentary about the making of Fright Night.
Mm.
And I studied him
Is
and
this with the
researched
Dead
him.
Mouse Productions?
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
It
because
was
I was there for
your
looking.
so
Oh
cool,
yeah,
Brewster. Yeah.
been looking at your
But
thing.
evidently one of the things he always did before he started with any director and with any cast, or the whole cast, the whole crew, he'd say, please, I have a thing of overacting, of overdoing it on film, so please stop me and tell me. Don't care about who I am or who you
Yeah,
think I am, or please stop me and tell me. What he didn't say if that actually did any good, but but you're right, people just don't. And
yeah,
Much rather have direction, because then you've got something to work with,
yeah,
especially if it's like in this situation, it was a kind of speech. He was kind of giving a great big long speech, so you've got nobody to bounce off, to
yeah.
kind of feel how the scene's going.
Yeah.
Uh, I still have horrendous self-doubt in everything I do.
But then sometimes it's a case of if they don't say anything, it's because you're doing what they want. So
Yeah,
there is that too. So were you in the first one as well? So you've gone back for the sequel, you and both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, they did. The Black Eyed Children came out last year. I had a kind of tiny cameo at home.
Right.
So just kind of, he was basically he's the father of the lead girl in it, who has been sent. She's gone to a summer camp,
Hmm.
and all the children have disappeared. It's a summer camp in America, and all the children have disappeared, and she's on her own. She can't work out what's happening, and
Right.
then these black-eyed children start appearing. And there's something odd about my her father anyway. He's obviously adopted her, and there's something strange going on with him. Anyway, it turns out, no, I won't tell you about the second one.
Yeah,
But
don't tell
anyway,
me
yes,
the don't tell me the
no, I
spoilers.
won't do spoilers. Thing is, I've only just filmed it. So yes, so the second one, I can tell you that he, at the end of the one, he says, "I will be there in an hour," and so the second one starts off an hour later, basically, where he's arriving at this camp to
Oh,
research and find out where his daughter has disappeared to. And they've also now booked me for the third one, which is going to
oh.
film in January 2027. So
Is that Hungary as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice. I've never been.
Did you get much time to do stuff other than filming? Yeah,
Yeah, so I had a couple of days in Budapest to have a look around and explore.
I've
What a
never been to
wonderful
Hungary.
city! Well, I'd never been before. Where we were filming was near Lake Balaton, which is beautiful and
Mm,
very mountainous. So it's kind of like Eastern Europe, like the Lake District, but with kind of Eastern
mm,
Europe houses and stuff. It's really fascinating and lovely people. One of the things that I really loved about it was the hotel we were staying in was empty to start with,
mm.
and then one weekend suddenly all these people arrived. Like the whole hotel was packed full of people, and I thought, oh, there's some kind of bus party come in, but no, the owner had
Right.
invited all his friends and family and other people who were interested to come in for the weekend. And they all bring in their kids and everything else for free. He fed
Okay.
them, gave them board and lodging.
Oh,
And in return, for the weekend, they cleared, it was kind of in these mountains. So they cleared all the leaves and they cleared the ground.
oh,
And there
amazing.
was just this lovely community feeling about it. And
Yeah,
I thought, what? We've lost all of that over here, which is
yeah,
such a shame. And that
yeah.
they're having meals together. They obviously do it every year. So every year they get together, they know each other. And
Mm.
yeah,
That's nice
it was
because it's like also something to look forward to, like catching up with everybody once a year. Like for us, we have
yeah,
Horror on Sea.
yeah,
That's like the equivalent. We all go to Southend and catch up in the bar.
yeah.
But yeah, like it's like that you're going to see those people next year without fail.
Yeah, I have only been once. I should try and get next year or the
Yeah.
year after.
I think this year is going to be well, next year will be the first year. I don't think I'm in anything because I've had like, six, seven films in previous Horror on Sea.
Uh-huh.
I've had a quiet year. But I am narrating the Horror on Sea documentary, which I
Oh,
should
fab.
probably do at some point this week. It's on my to-do list for this week.
Are you bad at procrastination?
I'm not so much bad at procrastination. I'm bad at having lots of things on the go. So I also have a holistic business, and I'm like, I have to do some
Uh-huh.
advertising for that, and I have to speak to that person. And I also have to do this interview, and I have to edit a podcast, and I have to, it's like, I've just got a lot, and it's just juggling it all and making it happen.
Uh-huh.
So, I'll get there. It'll get
It's
done.
good. If you're not procrastinating, that's really good. That means you're enjoying what you're doing as well, I think,
Yeah,
and you're feeling
yeah.
confident and happy
To
with
be
it.
honest, Alex, the director of, I mean, he directed video with Video Shop, so you'll know him, Alex. He
Yeah.
only handed the final cut of Video Shop 2 in to Horror on Sea the morning of the screening. So he's quite laid back. So he's not really going to crack the whip to get me to do it either. So I do have to, work off my
Yeah,
own
yeah.
back here. But he said to me, "Oh, do you want to do it? You could do it like January." I'm like, "The festival's in January. Like, I will get it to you, this week." It will happen. It will happen.
I think I'm gonna go along the year after this because
Mm.
the witches will be up and running then.
Yes.
I,
So I had Tony and Lauren on. So the first podcast of December. So all of this month, obviously, I had the Christmas tree, and I actually had me and my partner and those two, and we just had a catch up over the podcast. And he was saying we're shooting the final scene, and I'd put him in touch with Judy Matheson, who I think you've worked with in Markham Castle.
yes. Oh, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, right.
I don't know if he had scenes with her or not, but I know you're both in it. So I'd put him in touch with Judy, and it was a scene I think with Barbie Wilde,
Uh-huh. Oh, you were
Judy.
there. You were there.
I
That was
wasn't.
fun.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there. I just told him, like, I was just, he was telling me about it. And then they actually did shoot the scene. And now it says it's in post-production on IMDb because I checked this morning. So he said it's the final scene, but he's said that before.
Oh,
So
he has said that before.
I don't know.
I know. I asked
Apparently.
him the other day because Tim and Barbie were there, and they did say that was it. That was no
Mhm.
more. And I texted him to say, Barbie had a lovely time and everything else. And
Oh, lovely.
when now is it planning? And he said end of next year they are planning on releasing it. So
Right. So yeah, so
gives them
perfect
a
for
year.
Horror on Sea 2027.
Yeah.
God, it sounds like so far away, but I remember like when it was going to be the millennium, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for the year 2000. It's like, and now it's like so long ago. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, I
I
don't know
remember when I
how
was
this year's flown by. It's gone by so quickly. Because I think we met at Horror on Sea in January this year. Is that right?
was it this year? No, it was the
Was it last
previous
year?
year.
Was it
Yeah.
last year? See, it
Yeah.
feels like 2 years has gone by very quickly. They've just flown by. Yeah, they go by so quickly. And you're going to be at the wedding next year, wedding of the
Yes,
year. I love how
I am
you
really.
you messaged me like, "Do you know what you're wearing yet?" I'm like, "It's in August."
I know, but I mean, do you think we can say where it is?
I think I already said where it is. Yeah,
I mean, to go to a wedding at the Victoria and Albert Museum is like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah, like
wow.
an art museum with an amazing fashion gallery. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was at fashion school before I lived in London, we used to travel up to London to go to the V&A. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably buy something new, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna try and find something really fashionable, but with a kind of horror bent
Yeah.
to it.
Well, that's the thing because it's Tony and Lauren. I know Lauren will look absolutely beautiful and probably very classic. Tony's probably
Uh-huh.
going to wear a skirt. Who knows, a kilt. Um, I don't know. Like, it's going to be quite kind of out there, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it could be quite like avant-garde, and I don't know. I don't know.
We need to ask them really what the
Yeah.
dress
What do you
code.
want us to wear?
Yeah. Because it's quite exciting
It is.
to to go to that kind of event with
Yeah.
those kind of people. It kind of opens the door
It
far
does. And I
more
mean, there's going
than
to be a lot of horror types there. So,
yeah.
and I think everybody will make a massive effort.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so
I
too.
don't know.
I
I think,
think I think it'll be very Insta
yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's
worthy
literally, it's
for
literally the
that
wedding
reason.
of the, I feel
So
like it should
again,
be
for
in the
that
back
reason,
of like, there should be like a
it's
horror
going to be
version of
some.
OK. You know, like they have the weddings and things like where
Yeah,
people have been in the back of OK magazine, or they used to.
you
They
know
need a
what?
horror version. Dark Side. Dark Side can cover it. It's an idea for Alan.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We should contact, okay, we should contact, hello, I'm going to do this. We should contact, um,
Oh,
Fangoria.
it'd be like the who's who of horror.
Yeah, ow, absolutely. This is a really good idea. Okay, I'm going to
It's a
do
good
that.
idea. I love how you're like a media whore. You're like, I know, actually, I'm going to contact them. They should be there. They should do it. They should. They should do it.
Should they be missing out?
So
When
your
is it?
birth,
It's in August, isn't it? So it would be perfect for like
it's the
a
day
Halloween
after my
edition.
birthday, so I've got to travel on my birthday because I've got something the day before. So I'm thinking we're going to fly because it's actually cheaper and quicker to fly from up here to London. So I think we're just going to
Uh-huh.
fly in, and then I think I'm going to make it like a few days in London, so do some Londony stuff as well afterwards.
Yeah, I think I might do the same actually.
Yeah.
I've just booked to
Where are you
see.
based?
I'm based in just outside Stamford, so
Oh, so you're not
it's
too far from London then.
no,
No.
no, I'm about an hour's drive or
Mm.
an hour on the train. But
Yeah.
I've just booked to see Stranger Things
Oh,
at the
I'm
Phoenix Theatre. I haven't seen it yet.
we just binge watched the first half of the final series the other day, and because Tony actually posted he didn't really like it, and I thought it was incredible.
Oh, I can't see how I won't like it.
You've watched the
I,
series? Have you watched
yeah,
it? Have you watched the new bit?
I
The
haven't started on the new
Oh,
one yet because
okay.
we're gonna
Yeah, I
go.
really liked it. I was like, what? I don't know what anyone else wants. And I think it's really set it up. And it wasn't like slow. It still had a lot going on, but I think they've really set it up for like a really big kind of climax in the,
Ending. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
last bit.
Because I've bought it as a Christmas present, which is kind of selfish Christmas present because I get to go too. Um, but I've always fancied seeing it on stage. It sounds really good, and Stephen Daldry directed it, so he's a pretty amazing director. And
Mhm.
I saw the documentary. There's a Netflix documentary about the making of it, which
Oh,
looked pretty awesome. Well, it's worth checking out.
I don't know how that
Um,
hasn't popped up in my things I should watch either. Well, I will check it
yeah,
out.
yeah, no, do. I'm
That might
hoping
be
it's
our
good.
tomorrow night's watch, actually. So,
Yes, yes, do that. Because so what I'm planning on is maybe when are we going? January. Maybe starting soon to actually watch all of um Stranger Things right from the first
we just
episodes.
did that just like from last month. We binge watched
Uh-huh.
like all of the old series because I'd forgotten a lot of it. Like
Yeah, you
I
do.
wasn't
Yeah,
that
you do.
into it. And then we binge watched it again, and then I'm like, well, I don't know why I wasn't so into it the first time round. So I've got I know Santa's bringing me a Stranger Things top for Christmas and some Stranger Things Crocs.
I might have to look out for that, something like that to wear.
Yeah, Primark is your friend right
Right,
now.
Mark.
Do you
Okay,
know what I couldn't
excellent.
get though, and I really wanted? They do a Demigorgon onesie, and they're out of stock. And I was like, I want the Demigorgon onesie because I could just imagine me sitting in here dressed as a Demigorgon,
Oh my God,
being
eBay.
being warm.
I'll I'll
Well, I
I'll
haven't.
see what I can
Well,
find.
I looked on Vinted and there aren't any yet.
Okay.
So it's weird because they had some Buffy pajamas and I wanted the Buffy pajamas and they never seem to be in store either. So it's like I don't know how people are getting hold of these. Although, being as the season's not out yet, I'm wondering if they're going to restock. Like, you know, I don't know. But
It
yeah,
would be
Primark
silly
have
not
got
to.
loads and loads of cool Stranger Things stuff right now. So
Uh-huh.
check it out.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But I want to be like you say. You do forget. What did I do? Oh, the Diplomat. I don't know if you ever watched any of that,
No.
which was on. We by
Oh, you went quiet. Oh, there
I
you are.
started to watch the new season and I made a mistake and we ended up watching the whole of the first series and then we carried on watching other series. So we
Is it
ended up
really
just
good though? Is
watching
it
the
on
whole thing. But
Netflix?
again, I'd forgotten so much about it. I was very good. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Netflix,
I might check it out
highly
then because
recommended.
I now need a new binge watch.
Yeah, it's not horror,
I
but
was
it
gonna
is.
rewatch Hollywood because that's on there now.
Uh-huh.
And I loved that. And I think it's been long enough for me to have forgotten what happened. So I think that might be one. I don't know if my boyfriend will like that though. So that's when I'm on my own. I'll watch that one.
Have you been over to LA much?
Only once. I went out, oh, it must have been, God, a long time ago now. It was like 2013 or something, 14. And I shot a film out there. And I had a little bit of time. I had like a couple of days where like some of the cast kind of took me out and showed me around. So I managed to get in as much kind of touristy stuff and lots of champagne at the Chateau Marmont. as yeah, so I did like the, I did the star bit and the theatre. So I saw a little bit, but I haven't, no, not much. I feel like I'd like to go again and do a bit more. I would like
It's
to
such a
hike. I'm a big hiker,
hike.
so I didn't get to go on a
Oh, me
hike.
too. Yeah, me too. And the trails look amazing. I
Yeah.
did one hike. I
Although
went to the
mountain lions or cougars or whatever they
yes.
call them, that's a
I
little
was just
scary.
I was just going to say, I went to do the Getty Museum, and you drive to the car park. I got an Uber to drop me off at the car park, and then they've got this kind of private railway that goes up the hill to the museum, or you can walk. And like you, being a hiker, I thought, oh, I'm going to walk, and then I
Mm,
started to walk. There was all these signs: beware of mountain lions, rattlesnakes,
yeah.
and something else pretty horrible. But I thought, oh, sod it, we're this close to LA. Really, do they give me
Coyotes, I
this
don't know.
close?
Bears,
Coyotes, yes.
coyotes.
So Clive, so I'm going to name drop now. Clive Barker, who I go and stay with when I'm over there, he's got loads of dogs,
Hmm.
and it's strange life for dogs over there because they get the coyotes hunt in packs, and if they see people walking a dog, especially a small dog, they will hunt them. They
Ugh.
will. And especially if the dog's off the lead, then they will hunt them and kill them and
Oh,
drag them
and I'm
off. And
very
it
much a small
happens.
dog person when I've had dogs.
I can tell with all the pink.
Yeah. Yes. Elwood's crossed with Wednesday. There you go.
Yeah, my goddaughter has a little Chihuahua. And she's very legally blonde type.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just gave away my dog pram to the charity shop last week. It was in my friend's garage and he said, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, but I'll give it to a charity shop because I'm probably not going to get a dog now that I've got cats."
Uh-huh.
But I keep saying to my boyfriend, we should have got a dog because the cats are so naughty. They just do really naughty things. And I'm like, dogs are so much easier. I mean, I do love the cats, don't get me wrong. But and I love having like, little witches cats. But yeah, chihuahuas are so much easier. Pick them up, put them in your handbag, and off you go.
I used to have old English sheepdogs, so they were the huge, great big
Yeah, they don't really fit
things.
in your handbag.
I used to no, you couldn't get them, and they actually had a really big handbag.
Yeah,
I used to
like
dress up
a
as them actually.
suitcase or a cart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So to carry on about Clive Barker's dogs.
Yes. So basically, they would have a dog walker, but I don't know where she would take them. But they would never really go out. They go out into his backyard, which was quite big.
Mm.
Um, but they spend a lot of the. I shouldn't really say this. They spend a lot of the time in nappies, which it's just so different. It's so different over there. When you think
Yeah.
of the freedom that my little dog has when we go out for a walk every day, and the fact
Yeah.
that they can't do that over there is
No, it is crazy. And I actually had this conversation very similarly with somebody on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and it was like about Australia. And we're like, but everything can kill you. Like, we're really
yeah.
lucky here. Like, I can go on a hike by myself, and I'm pretty confident that I can survive the forest without being
Uh-huh.
eaten or anything, or bitten, or, it's fine. And I do sometimes go and do like hikes on my own. But out there, like you'd never go on your own. Like
Uh-huh.
I'd want a
Uh-huh.
group of like 20, I think. But yeah, I mean like Australia, the crocodiles will kill you, the snakes will kill you, the spiders will kill you, koala's gonna drop on your head.
You've got your own medical team with you.
Yeah, that's what you need. But yeah, I mean, I love wildlife and I mean it would be incredible to kind of see stuff from afar. But yeah,
Yeah,
I do feel like we're safe here. As much as I would like the LA weather or the Australian weather. Um,
yeah,
I think with hot weather comes scary creatures.
yeah. And we get a little taste of it over here. I always think at the end of the summer, the second half of the summer, you start getting all the bitey creatures start coming out.
It's the
So you get an idea of all
spiders.
those things that would just continue if we continued to
Yeah.
have hot weather.
Yeah, like
And then they'll
mosquitoes
go,
like to dine out on me anyway. Like I don't know, they
uh,
really like my blood. They must be a fan of the A negative. But the spiders, it's like you go outside. Like I've never had my own, well, actually I have had my own garden before, but I didn't really do anything with it. But since I've moved here, I've got just a tiny little yard. And this year, I mean, it was all concrete. So this year I've had some astroturf put down. So I thought that'll be less bugs. But I've done a lot of pots of plants. Like I do love my plants. And I'm quite happy to go out and potter around, potting things and clearing up leaves, doing all that. But then like a spider will come out and then it just ruins my day. And I'm like, I can't do it anymore. It's enough now. Going indoors. Don't like it.
I moved here 7 years ago, so I live in the countryside outside of Stamford. It's the
Mm.
first time I'd lived in the countryside. And nothing prepares you for the
I
amount of
know.
spiders that you get in the
No,
countryside. I mean,
no.
they're everywhere. And I get bitten as much by the spiders as the
Oh,
mosquitoes
I've never
now.
been bitten by a spider.
Yeah,
I'd be moving to, I don't know, it's Greenland don't have mosquitoes. Is it Greenland or Iceland that don't have
yeah,
mosquitoes?
probably both.
I don't know if
Probably
they have
both.
spiders.
And
Oh
I find them on my bed, I find them on my
no.
pillow.
God, no.
I
Oh, I'd
know.
be burning the house down. I grew up in the countryside, and I actually, when I was a kid, I wasn't scared of spiders. And I think what happened was I was watching Arachnophobia with my dad, and I was like laying on the sofa, and he was on his like armchair. And the bit where the spider falls on the guy's face, he threw this like plastic spider at me, and he thought it was really funny. And I think that just ruined it for me because I used to be able to pick, the big house spiders. I could pick them
Uh-huh.
in a tissue and put them outside from the if they're
Uh-huh.
in the bath. And now it's like I can't do anything. I'm just useless when there's a spider, and which is weird because like I know that I used to be fine with them, but I just don't
I
really
think
like
you have to
them.
kind of train yourself again. I'm very good at having a glass bottle or
Mm.
a pint glass, and just kind of trapping it in a pint glass. Like, hey, there.
This
Is
is
this?
midnight. This is midnight.
Hey, hello, midnight. No, it's a cat, Simon. They're not going to react to it. It's a cat.
He would if he had food. I think he's telling me he wants
Yeah.
food, but he's just been fed. So
Just just to explain why I've got this on. This is from I had a piece.
I was gonna say
Yes.
mosaic, right? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mosaic and the character came back for a witches. So
Ah. Well,
so yeah,
we are literally running out of time for part one because we
okay.
haven't even really asked about your career yet. We've just been gossiping.
Oh,
So
this is good. I much prefer this.
when we come back in part two, well, we can continue to gossip, but
Okay,
I will touch on some of the stuff that people want to hear about. So
guide
have
me.
a 10-minute break and I will send you a fresh link. And you stop
Okay.
killing my baubles.
Bye, midnight. Speak soon. Yeah, well, that one's got its days numbered.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Scream Princess podcast. Welcome back to part two of the Scream Princess podcast. Did you go and get yourself a cup of tea?
No, I got myself a peppermint white chocolate, hotel chocolate, hot chocolate
Oh,
with
well,
a
that is very fat.
velvetizer.
That's probably the fanciest drink anyone's had on here so far.
It's really nice.
It looks
Other hot
good.
chocolates are available.
I didn't get a drink because there's only so much tea I can drink in a day. Otherwise, I need to pee all the time. So I had a banana and I just wanted to show you this. So my cats behave like dogs. So the postman the other week, he said to me, he came to drop a parcel off and he said, "Have you got a dog?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Did you have a dog here the other day?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "Oh, because I got attacked." And I said, "I've got cats." So the postman stuck his hand through the letterbox and the cats attacked him. And they don't, I think he would probably just was playing, but I've just picked up a bit of junk mail
Oh my
that
gosh, that blood.
no,
I
this is
was going
just
to say,
look at the hole.
shredded.
It's been shredded. And he started doing it. So I'm terrible for shopping on Vinted. I'm like, you fall into the rabbit hole. I'm like, I'll have that because it's not like spending real money, is it, if you're buying online? And
Uh-huh,
he's been tearing up my parcel. So now I have to be really careful. If it's a fabric that he can ruin, I have to get stuff delivered to my local shop and then I go and pick it up because I need to get one of those boxes you can put on the post.
uh-huh.
Because I need to get one of those put on so that my mail is safe. But yeah, the cat. See,
If you get
dog.
one of those, you need one that's top loading rather than, otherwise it has to go in and then drop down.
Yeah.
So the mail has to be bent. Whereas if you have one where you just drop it in the top with a lid on it, then
Ah,
it's much easier and your mail gets to you better.
yes. Spoken like a man who has dogs
Yeah.
and knows. No, my dogs never did that though. Well, actually, I say that. I lived in London. I had a concierge that collected my mail for I never had.
Listen to you. Oh, I had a
I was a
concierge.
concierge. I didn't have to. Yeah, which is so handy. This is one of the things I miss the most about now, like not having that, like moving north and not living, in like a complex. Um, I don't have anyone to collect my mail. And when you buy a lot online or have things sent to you a lot, it's tough because you're forever running around trying to find where your mail is. But
I think in the Northeast they'd struggle to know what a concierge is, to be fair.
yes, Yeah,
Sorry to everybody in the Northeast. I
no.
don't mean
We were slating the Metro on here the other week with Tony and Lauren, and
no.
I think I might have taken it out because things were said that and I never had to censor anyone. I had to censor my boyfriend.
They are the nicest people. When I used to tour the
Yeah.
UK, the Northeast, I think were the nicest people you could ever come across. The
Yeah.
friendliest, the warmest, really
Yeah,
open
no,
people.
people are friendly. And I still, when you're walking down the street and I go for a walk and someone says hello, and I'm like, what do you want? I'm thinking, why are you talking to me? I've got London mentality. And I didn't grow up in London, but I lived in London for 17 years. So, I think for most of my grown up life,
Yeah.
I was
Don't
in,
make eye contact.
yeah, you're in London and it's like just different rules. But up
They're
here,
also
people,
the hardiest up there as well. They'd be out. I'd be there in kind of my thermals and everything else, and they'd be in there in their shorts and
honestly, there
t-shirt.
was a girl the other night and she was in tiny, tiny shorts. It was like -2.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing it. And I, I mean, it's freezing up here. It's weird. At the beach, it doesn't feel quite as cold. And I think it's because you feel like the beach is going to be freezing. And I think that maybe the
Uh-huh.
salt takes the edge off or the cliffs take the edge off or something. But generally, it's just really cold. Like I can see my breath in my bathroom.
Oh my God. That's
I don't know if my bathroom's maybe haunted because it's the same extension part as the kitchen and the kitchen's fine, but the bathroom is absolutely freezing. So like before I have a bath or anything, I have to turn the radiator on in the kitchen, leave the door open so it kind of warms the bathroom up a little bit because it's ridiculously cold in there.
You've maybe got Shirley Henderson in there. I remember her name now. Screaming Myrtle.
Oh, okay. Well,
Moaning Myrtle.
maybe moaning metal. Well, maybe. I mean, these are like the old like miners' houses. Like, so it's like it was built in 1904, so there could be a ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
Could be a ghost. I don't think the extension wasn't there, but I don't know. So your first film, this is going by IMDb. So your
Okay.
first film role, you were a dancer in Quadrophenia.
Oh my goodness, now we are going back. Yes, I was 17 and it was just before I went to drama school. Um, and I managed to get an agent, a really dodgy agent called Bother Boots was the name of the agency. And I don't know how rated your podcast is. How
Oh, you can
dark
say
and
whatever you like.
how graphic can I go?
Let's go be as graphic as you like.
Okay, so I was staying with my agent, and because I was going to do Quadrophenia the next day, we were going to go and shoot it. I'd never been on a film set before, and I was really looking forward to it. And my agent was said if you want to stay over, you can. And my partner came, and that was fine. So we had this. Okay, this is going to go very dark, and very graphic, and very black, and I apologize. You might want to cut this out. Um, and so I was only 17, so you know what 17-year-olds, we were doing the business. My agent had gone to bed, and and it went really well, and I had a very good high from it. And the next morning, I woke up and I thought, God, that was an amazing orgasm that I just had last night, probably one of the best I've ever had. And I put back the sheets, and the whole of the sheets were covered in blood, just covered in blood. And I had split my urethra. I can never remember the name of it, the
Oh, is
little
it like
bit.
the not the banjo thing?
Yes.
And it didn't
So I
hurt.
No, I think
Oh,
because it was a release of blood,
oh God.
it at exactly the right time, it felt just incredible, to be honest. And
Did
I'm
you wake up thinking someone's been murdered? Like, what's happened in here?
being 17, when you're 17, they're not very hygienic, 17-year-olds
That's
sometimes. And
true.
we didn't clean up afterwards, otherwise I would have known there and then. But I didn't. We just fell asleep. And yes, so the next morning I was and I had to go off early to do Quadrophenia. So I just left before my agent had even got up.
Oh,
And
wow.
left him with his spare room, like looking like a
Looking like
massacre
a
had
murder
happened.
scene. My God. Like, what did he say?
Well, I explained. Obviously, I said, this happened, and it didn't happen. It mended. It was fine.
Yeah.
But yes, I did quite a thing. I'm not in the film, but I was there filming it.
Oh.
Um,
So I did a
I,
film it was originally called Banjo. And the idea came about because the director had had exactly that happen and snapped the banjo string
ah,
and the blood. And then he wrote this film, which was not based on at all. It was kind of crossed like Drop Dead Fred with an imaginary friend and all kinds of craziness. But and the film ended up being called My Bloody Banjo, like the distributors changed the name. But
Right.
yeah, it was
It's one of those situations when you talk about it, every man in the room crosses their legs
yeah,
just with the idea of it. But it actually was, it really wasn't painful, which was
wow,
who knows.
yeah,
But yes.
but
So
messy,
then, pardon?
but messy.
Very messy. Yes. I think I must have had a shower because I don't remember having any blood on the scene of Quadrophenia. But it was interesting, Quadrophenia, because all the cast, none of them were known then. So Sting was there. I was in the nightclub scene, which was supposed to be filmed in
Sting's from somewhere
Brighton.
up here. He was a teacher.
Yes, that's right, he was. But he was just beginning to find some success. So there was him and Toy Wilcox. Nobody knew who either of them
Mm-hmm.
were. And there was Timothy Spall. Nobody who. So all these people
Yeah.
who were starting off their careers were all there, and the lovely Mark, who I've worked with on lots of the Dark Ditties films,
Hmm.
who played Pork Pie Hat.
Right.
Um, so yes, it was interesting experience. I spent 2 days dancing to the same track in this nightclub in South London that was supposed to be Brighton, but it was actually South London.
Right.
And I can still remember the track because it just went on and on and on. And the other thing I remember, because it was back in the days of kind of proper big cameras, was they absolutely filled the place up with smoke so much that
Yeah.
you could literally couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
Hmm.
Um, and then they went action, and you think, well, what are they filming? Because I can't see anybody. But
Yeah.
the cameras have this amazing ability
Yeah.
to see through that. I don't
Yeah.
know how they do it. It's like magic.
And smoke just really gives a good atmosphere
Oh
on,
yeah,
in a,
yeah.
especially in a club scene. But yeah, I think it's, but because the light just bounces off it and.
And you get the beams that you can that
Mm.
shine through, and
Hmm.
so yeah, that was my first experience of a film. Quite wild. And
Quite
then the
well.
next one wasn't until Hellraiser, when so that was just
So
after
that
I
you'd
left.
been doing theatre then, and you'd met Clive Barker through theatre, and then he'd asked
Yes,
you to come on board.
yes. So I met
Right.
Clive in he was living near the drama school I went to in North London, Mount View, and he just moved down from London with Doug Bradley and a few others.
Hmm.
And he came to see me in a production of King Lear in a drama school. We were doing a kabuki version of King Lear, and I was playing the fool, and he liked what I was doing and said, "Will you, when you graduate, will you join the Fringe company?" Because nobody
Hmm.
knew who Clive Barker was then. And so yeah, that's what I did when I graduated. I joined the dog company, and we didn't make any money, so we were all on the dole. And but it was exciting, and even then, Clive's brain is just like,
Yeah, and I
what
mean,
have
of
you
course,
done?
when you've gone and done Hellraiser, it's like as an early project for all of you. None of you could have realized that it was going to become a real iconic piece. I mean, I think with any film, nobody
No.
knows, no one can know what's going to happen, but it is absolutely iconic.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And you talk to most people on most films that have have got this kind of status to them,
Mm.
and none of them thought that it
No.
would do anything. And we were the same. It had a very small budget for the day. It was 700,000, I think, to start with. And Clive himself said, all I was hoping for that somebody would see the film
Mhm.
and maybe give me more work, so I would
Yeah.
get better quality work. Um, but of course, now here we are, and nearly 40 years ago, still talking about it. So
Yeah.
I kind of, if I'd known then what I know now, I would have done things slightly differently. I would have fought much harder to keep my dialogue, which all got cut
Uh,
um, because of the dentures I was wearing. But yeah, it's not really done me that much harm. And in fact,
no.
there's a new game coming out next year, which is going to be on Xbox and oh, I can't never remember what are the game things, all the big
PlayStation.
PlayStation, thank you,
PlayStation.
and Steam, which is called Hellraiser Revival.
Right.
And they've just brought out the second trailer for it, and it looks it looks incredibly graphic. There's a little
Does
warning
it?
comes up saying, warning may not be suitable for children under the age of 17, and then you watch it and you think, may not be. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's graphic.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose though, kids see all sorts now, don't they? So under 17, I think 17-year-olds are kind of wise, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
there's Hellraiser 1, you were in the second one as well, Hellbound.
yeah, yeah.
And then, I mean, it's kept going, and then they've done kind of newer versions. Has that all been Clive, or has he?
No.
No.
So Clive only did the first Hellraiser. He was executive producer on the second one
Right.
and maybe the third one.
Okay.
Um, by the third one, the rights were sold to the Weinstein Company because
Right.
New World Pictures went under.
Hmm.
Um, and he's only just got the rights, most of the rights back.
Right.
He's got them all back from the Weinsteins, but then there's another LA lawyer who's now saying, "Oh yes, but I own the rights for this," and
Right.
because he's a lawyer, unless you've got the money to fight him, you just have to. This is awful, isn't it? You just have to
Yeah.
say, "Okay, you own the rights for that because you say you do, and you know that we don't have the money to fight you." So
Yeah.
it's terrible. But
Yeah.
yes, he does. So Clive has more control now. So Clive's part of this Hellraiser revival game.
Okay.
He also was advising, I think, on the film that came out 2 years ago
Right.
with Jamie Clayton playing Pinhead,
Hmm.
which was good. It was lovely to see the Hellraiser franchise with a
Mm.
decent budget and decent cast. And sorry, I don't
Yeah.
mean that. That sounds awful for the other casts, but
You were a good cast.
yeah. Thank you. I can't remember. It was a
They
long
just
time
slated
ago.
yourself and your friends.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. And everybody I'm going to meet now.
No, I know what you mean though, because obviously, like you weren't all going to come back because it's, it was like you said, it's like 40 years since. But to have it done again, but done well with
Yes.
thought and money behind it, rather than anybody picking it up and kind of ruining the like legacy, really, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of lowest common denominator that it got to, and to see it done properly was really nice. But they've brought our characters back in the game, which is going to be fun.
That's nice.
So there's
Did you
there's a
get much
nice
say in your like the look of your character? Like, 'cause I mean,
no.
are you still friends with the other Cenobites?
Oh yeah, I
Me and
mean
Nicholas,
we
yeah.
meet up.
You must do
Um,
conventions together.
yeah, we've been meeting. So there were no conventions for the first 10 years of Hellraiser.
Mhm.
And so we all thought, oh, it was Hellraiser was nice, but it's kind of gone into the
Mm.
past now. And then on our 10th anniversary, Doug rang me and Nick and said, there are these people in the States who want to do this convention with us. Do you fancy coming over? And since then, we haven't really stopped doing them
Yeah.
for the last 30 years. So that's
What's the
kind of also,
weirdest fan? Because the horror fans are like, they're really dedicated and loyal. What is the weirdest interaction with a fan at
you,
convention?
you do get some that are very nervous of meeting you and
Right. Because they
their
think you're a
hands are very
Cenobite and you're
cold and
gonna.
clammy. And you're okay, and you're trying to calm them down. I've had people crying because they were so
That's weird.
excited, which is really weird.
Are you like,
Um,
stop, stop?
yeah. Um, so there's some amazing stuff. So there was a Hellraiser car that I've seen, with all sorts of things engraved all over it. There's a Hellraiser pinball machine which we saw last year, which was incredible. All the different sections
Yeah.
of it, and then there was bits that lit up when you hit certain balls, and um, there's so many things over the years, and lots of tattoos, which is I
Yeah.
think the ultimate kind of
Yeah.
accolade.
Are you a
And
are you a pop vinyl?
a oh no, I'm not.
No. Have they not done the
There's a reason.
Cenobites? I mean, they've obviously done
So
Pinhead.
the pop vinyl company, they could get the rights for all the films after the first two. So and because
Ah.
Chatterer appeared in one of the ones later,
Hmm.
they could get the rights for his character, and they obviously got the right for Doug's character, but they haven't got the rights for me and Barbie.
Oh no.
So I know it's kind of frustrating.
That is
I keep
annoying. Don't you,
I've
you
written
feel
to them
like
a
you
few
want to go, but
times.
look, it's me. I want to be one.
Yeah, yeah, they get their own pop vines. People have made them for me, and which have
Yeah.
been amazing, and had them commissioned. So there was
Yeah.
somebody made a pop vinyl for the Nightbreed films, which were really fun.
That's cool.
Yes, but it would be nice. It would be nicer to have the real
Yeah,
things.
and also for the fans, like whoever is blocking it, the fans are collectors. Like they want a full set,
Yeah,
you
I've
know?
I've written to the company and said, look, do you know how many conventions we do a year? Do you know
Yeah,
how successful this would be?
yeah.
Um,
But
but
their
it's
hands are
just
tied.
yeah.
That's really sad. That is really sad. So then well, I've looked through your list of credits and you're kind of hard pressed to find something that's not horror. Have you always been a horror fan, or is this like completely just fallen that way because of Hellraiser?
Some of it, well, a lot of the work has come because of the Hellraiser, and people
Mm.
just offer me work because they know me through
Mm.
Hellraiser. Plus, when I'm not filming films. I do a lot of work with universities and their film students.
Right.
Um, and you find that majority of film students are great horror fans.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, one of the lecturers and the teachers and things, they're always pulling their hair out, going, "It's not going to be horror. You've got to find something else that's not horror." But because they're so into it, so they give me lots
Are
of
you
work as
secretly
well.
proud? You're like, yes, it's horror.
Yeah. But yes, I was the little. I grew up in a little village, and they had the local newsagents. When you used to go in, had the top shelf magazines back in the day,
Mm,
which were all the girly magazines,
yes.
but also up there were Fangoria and all the horror magazines.
Mhm.
And I was always that kid who wanted to sneak a look at the horror magazines rather than the other
Yeah.
ones. So I suppose, yes, it was always fascinating to kind
Yeah.
of to see all those and all that stuff that was coming out of Hollywood at the time, which kind of as 16, 15, 16, 17, I'd never seen before.
Mm,
So yeah, but most of the work, it's my parents. I did a film called Starfish with Joe Froggatt from Downton Abbey,
right.
and it wasn't horror. It was based on a true story, and my parents were so happy, and they got all their relatives and all the friends, and we had a big outing to go and see
It's
it.
one they can watch.
Yes, I met.
Oh,
I remember going to see Hellraiser when it came out with my grandparents, and it was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And my
oh,
mum,
I don't know if I
and
could sit through that with grandparents.
every time my character came on, my mum went, "Oh no, I can't watch this." Well, mum, you're not going to see me in the film, so suck it and see.
Oh, but do you feel like a little bit typecast then in horror, or are you happy with it? I mean, I think it's
No,
better to work and be getting offered work than to not.
yeah,
So.
I, I'm quite enjoying the way my it seems to be going at the moment with the Black Eyed Children, because that company does kind of dark sci-fi,
Right.
and one of my passion, I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi. That's one of the things I like. Stranger Things is it's kind of
Yeah.
sci-fi, kind of crossover. Plus, it's got the
Yeah.
kind of the 1980s vibe going on to
Yes.
start with. So I'd like to do more sci-fi, but yeah, no, I'm happy doing horror.
Yeah. I was
I,
going to ask if there was any genres that you'd like to work in that you haven't. Can you hear jingling? Cats and Christmas tree in the other room.
you sure it's not Santa?
It might be Santa. I hope it's Santa. A little bit early.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're north.
Well,
Because you're
yeah,
in
I
the
suppose
northeast. I didn't.
he's gonna hit here first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I think our sunrise is like before.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. You'll
yeah,
be like New Zealand. You'll be getting the first ones.
yes. I've blocked the chimney though.
Oh, he has a magic key. It's fine.
Well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
He can use the window. So you'd like to do more sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Yeah, I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by sci-fi. It's my escapism, I suppose, and I suppose that's what horror is as well. It's a form of
Yeah.
escapism.
I was going
One
to
of the
ask
lovely
that too.
things
I was going to say,
you
what do
you
you
must
like to watch when you're chilling out? Like, do you watch horror or you might, I don't know, you might like a rom-com
occasionally, if I'm in the mood for a
occasionally?
rom-com, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
watch a
very rare I'm in
rom-com.
the mood for a rom-com, but occasionally.
Yeah, yeah, I would put myself in the same boat as
Yeah.
that. But
I
you
think
must
there's
find the same
certain
thing that,
people that I like to watch. Is like I love Sandra Bullock and I love Cameron Diaz. So if
uh-huh,
they're in a rom-com, I'll be like,
uh-huh.
okay, I'm probably gonna like this, but generally I wouldn't.
The horror community are such, you must find the same, are such lovely people.
Mm,
I haven't really found anybody, and of all the conventions I've gone to, there's only been trouble at one of them
right.
when somebody tried to steal somebody's takings,
Oh
and
wow.
but they didn't get far, and
Okay.
everybody got in. And there's a lovely show I did. I think it was in Pennsylvania,
Mm,
and the hotel is mixed. It's a mixed convention. One is um, horror fans, and the other one is what's the name of the word? My brain. Ex-army military people,
like
veterans,
right, okay.
veterans. So you've got these very conservative veterans dressed very
Yes.
conservatively, very
Especially the
upright, and
Americans, because even when they're finished, they're
yes.
still serious about it.
Yeah, and they're all of an age, and then you've got these all these kind of goths and everybody in black and looking wild and wonderful, and you think these two groups of people are never going to get on, but
Mm,
every year they get on like a house on fire.
yeah.
because the horror fans are so friendly and so
Yeah,
respectful,
I've always found that
and
the
the
fans and
veterans love.
the filmmakers as well, like everybody who's involved in kind of making the films tends to be really friendly in horror.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. So the hat, we're going to touch on Mosaic and Witches
So,
of the Sands. How did you get involved in which was first for you, Mosaic or Witches?
oh, now that is a very good question because I've done two parts in Witches.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say it might not be correct, but I think I did. I think I did Mosaic first.
Right, okay.
So that was fun, and I really liked the script, and I really liked what they'd done. And then so it
Yeah.
was right at the end of COVID, so and I can't remember the guy's names, which is awful.
Alex,
Well, Alex and the other director, his
Mike.
brother died.
Yeah,
Mike,
Alex
his
and Mike. They've
mother.
been on. I had them on doing a chili sauce challenge Romford last year, or this year.
Oh, fun.
Romford and Alex has been on with his wife Hannah as well. So
Chili sauce challenge is a great one. Another
mm,
one, which I did once on a podcast was horror themed cocktails.
that would be fun.
That
And
was a
then I'd stop
blast.
making sense after cocktail three.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a blast. I highly recommend doing that. Um, so yes, so sadly Mike's brother died just
Yeah.
before we were about to start filming. So
Mm,
Alex ended up doing because it was and that was during COVID.
yeah.
Alex ended up doing everything on his own. But he did a fantastic job,
Mm,
and um, I loved doing it and loved playing it. And I played a character. I played a policeman, hence the
yeah.
hat.
Hence the hat.
And
I love that you kept it.
yes, the thing is, I can't. I've also got my police
They're,
badge
they're probably
somewhere as
like,
well.
where's that hat gone? We needed it. And then you've just
But then when we did Witches of the Sands, I played this character in a restaurant, and it was. They hadn't really told me anything about Witches of the Sands, so I didn't really know what was going on.
yeah,
And the
nobody knows.
only no, no, I've got a kind of idea now, but I won't spoil it.
Right.
Um, but the only line that it was in this restaurant, and everybody had the same line, which was a line of dialogue from Shakespeare.
Right.
I can't remember what it is now, but it was bizarre because we all were having conversations, but saying exactly the same one line to each
Mhm.
other, backwards and forwards. So it was like, okay, this is weird.
Like
And then,
Meisner. It's like doing a
pardon?
Meis. It's like doing Meisner at drama
Yeah,
school.
yeah, exactly that. And then there were naked or pretty much naked. A waitress came in with a naked gimp on a
Right.
chain. So I go, okay, this is even stranger. And then we had a food fight with all sorts of food. And then we were eating these mushrooms, which were
Did
hallucinogenic.
you not
So
eat
we
those
were,
first? Because it
I
sounds like
didn't.
everything you're talking about is a bit crazy.
Yeah, no, no, exactly. This was halfway through. And then it turned out that well, I won't say anymore because it will be a spoiler. So it was bizarre. It
Yes.
was very bizarre. But then they decided, after they saw Mosaic, they said, "Oh, we'd like to have those two characters, the my policeman and my
Yeah.
deputy. We'd like them both to come back and be in Witches of the Sands as well." So I
Yeah.
got to kind of revisit the
It's funny
character
because
of
they have their little worlds. Because I know, like the Tiz guys who did Mosaic, they have like their world, and I've played a character called Paula Valentine in Ice Cream on the Beach, but
uh-huh.
I've come back in Mosaic as Paula Valentine, and and then obviously the video shop, which is sort of their world, but also it's like Lal's world. I play Paula Valentine again, but I feel like I may have done that as well in Tony's. So in Tony's film, I originally went in and did a scene playing a character I'd played in a film I'd produced, who was
Right.
like a ghost hunting show, girl from a ghost hunting show. So that was the original thing. Then I feel like I might have been myself, and then I might have been Paula Valentine. So I've literally lost track of everything that I did in Witches of the Sands. I don't know.
Paula Valentine actually is crucial to a lot of my scenes.
Yes, yes. Poor Paula. She's misunderstood. I love playing her actually though, because she's just so like hoity and like but sort of clueless at the same time. So I feel a little bit sorry for her.
And Tony is your super fan.
Yes.
So I have a scene where I'm interviewing Tony and he's having a kind of nervous breakdown
Yes.
about you.
Yeah. Yeah. He does it very well, though. He does do it very well.
He does it. I cannot wait to see Witches of the Sands. I think it's either going to be,
I think he's got
it's going to be
so
like,
much footage. I feel like he could have enough footage to edit this as a trilogy, but
I think,
he's adamant that it's only going to be 90 minutes.
I think it's going to be the Monty Python of the horror films. To be honest, it's
I
going to
know.
be.
It's going to be
I
bonkers,
agree.
but
Actually, I think it could be three films. I think they could
I honestly
easily
think
do it
he's shot so much. And I know it's like, what are you going to take out? And he's like, no, everything's going to be in there. How can that just be 90 minutes then? I don't know. It's a lot.
because they've been shooting it for 5 years, probably longer
Yeah,
now.
it was lockdown because I shot the first scene, I think, and he'd asked me to shoot this scene with this girl from the ghost hunting show. And I, at the time, was when I was living in London, we had like an underground car park. So I was like, well, that's probably a good location to shoot. I can just take my tripod down there and shoot my scene myself. And that was like the first thing. So it was in lockdown. So yeah, 2019.
And then mine were at the end of it. We were all having to wear masks and things until action, and then everybody was dropping the masks or
Yeah.
doing the thing, and then putting
Yeah.
the masks back
That was
on.
crazy, wasn't it? Like we're not going to
Yeah,
get COVID in that 2 minutes we didn't wear masks, but we will get it if we don't put them back on.
even though there's 100 people in this room.
Yeah, it was bonkers, wasn't it? So do you have like a type of role you'd like to play that you haven't already? Like, I mean, I feel like Cenobite, that's kind of villainous, they're baddies, and you've been goodies and baddies.
I think baddies are always more interesting to play.
Baddies are more fun.
Yeah, I spend a lot of my because I always looked younger when I was in my early career. I played a lot of time playing what they used to call Juve leads.
Right.
So it was always kind of it was the goodie, and
Mm,
then had the really boring character and was usually the straight man to somebody else's comedy or dark side.
yeah.
And it was they were dull. You have to find interesting ways of making them interesting because there's not really much written for them.
Yeah.
Basically, you're there because you look good because
Yeah.
you're young.
You're the pretty boy.
So yeah, exactly. So now, yeah, anything dark and I don't know, that's a good question. Um,
Dark and sinister.
something science, so anything science fiction based, and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe something yeah, Star Wars is getting a bit.
I
I'm
mean,
not
it'd be
sure.
cool to do something in there because you'd get like a really good fantasy character.
Yeah, but I'd like to be in an ideal world. It would be in the new Star Wars. It would be in the new thing that's all the new Stranger Things, the
Yeah,
new
like
thing that's
something
about
new that comes out, like a
that is
new
about to
Game of Thrones,
explode.
or
Yeah,
Are you saying that? I
exactly,
couldn't really get into
exactly.
Game of Thrones.
No, I
No,
loved it.
I watched it all. I just, yeah, I was still a bit like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, there's some great characters. There were some bits I loved. Like I liked some of the storylines and some of them less so. Like I loved Diana Rigg in it and the granddaughter. I can't remember what the actress's name was, but I loved them. I loved their dynamic and certain bits. And the costume was great and the sets were great and the effects, but just I don't know. It was lacking
I
some.
haven't. I haven't got into the new one. I did start to, and then they keep swapping where they're showing up, where you can watch them,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
this is
then
the thing,
yeah,
like Dexter. Like I still haven't seen the latest Dexter because it was on something I don't have. It's like
yeah,
how many apps can you pay for? You know,
exactly.
I have
I
Netflix
don't.
and Prime, and if it's not on Netflix and Prime, I'm waiting.
I'm the same. I'll have Prime because it comes with the shopping and everything else, and I'll have
Exactly.
Netflix for as long as I need it, and then I get rid of Netflix, and then I
I
have
have
Apple
Netflix
Plus,
because my
and
friend
then
paid
I'll.
for it for me, and
Oh, that's all.
he just continues to pay for it. So I'm like, okay.
But
He
when I'm
paid for it
exhausted,
because he wanted me to watch not Game of Thrones, Downton. So he's like, I'm getting you
oh
Netflix so
yeah,
you can binge watch Downton. This was like about, I think it was early last year because I remember it being really cold, and he was like, I'm paying for you on my Netflix account, like an extra person, and he's
uh-huh.
just continued to pay for it. So I'm like, yay, yay for Netflix.
Yeah, but I mean, the trouble with Netflix now is they don't seem to. Usually, there's to run out of stuff to watch,
Yeah.
and
And you
then I've moved to
scroll
another
too
one.
long. You scroll and you scroll and you scroll. And then I give up and I'm like, I'm either too tired, I'm going to bed, or I just decide to read a book. Which is
Yeah,
I do read a lot, so I don't mind reading a book, but it's like sometimes it's just too much maybe for you to kind of go through. And you don't know what's going to be good or what's going to be too rubbish.
it's a bit like reading Time Out when I lived in London. I would spend all the time reading Time Out and never actually going to see anything because there was so much choice.
Yeah.
And Netflix, I sometimes spend all evening just going through what's coming up
Yeah.
next and going,
And
oh
we have
yeah,
Tubi
add
as
to
well.
list.
So like Tubi's got a lot of low budget horror on, which is quite fun.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you're just in the mood for it. So there's a lot of that on Tubi, and I've got a couple of other apps that've got like a lot of old classics and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But you know, it's
You
probably
can learn a lot from the old classics, I think.
yeah,
I was recommending Riley. Have you seen Riley?
no.
Um, it's shot like an old black and white movie. I think it's
Oh,
Netflix, but every shot has been lined up to look like a kind of
I'm gonna
classic
write it down.
1950s, 60s film. And
That sounds up my street.
I've got a friend who is a photographer, and I said, "You've got to watch this because he
Mm,
really understands the lighting." And
mm.
he just said, he said my girlfriend was fed up with it because I was stopping it, going, "Look how they've composed and shot. It's amazing with the light coming through like this, and the way it's catching their faces." And
I'll have to
but
hunt
it
it
is,
out. We watch a lot of like we tend to watch a lot of my boyfriend's really into the old Hammers and things. So and there's a lot of it I hadn't seen. So we've been watching all of those, all of the Universals, and I've got a couple of box sets. And then you go into a delve on like so I've got a lot, but then you go onto one of these apps that have got a lot of it as well. And we'll just start watching all kinds of things. And I got really into the mood for it. Because I think if you haven't watched something that old for a long time,
uh-huh,
like the way they speak's very different. That you know, it's very different to watching a modern film. But once you like
yeah.
fall into that, it's like that's all I kind of want to watch for a
It's
while.
interesting the way that acting and the style of everything has changed over the years and
Yeah,
continues to change. And that's something I'm aware that how much it's changed, how naturalistic it is.
yeah.
And my
Because it used
instinct
to be
is,
very theatrical, didn't it? Like
yeah,
even if you watch like Audrey Hepburn, who was like beautiful and stunning and very poised and very perfect, but she's very theatrical. And it's like, did people speak like that even then? Like with that kind of
I think they did in theatre. We did in theatre.
yeah,
That's one of the things I have to watch myself because of my theatrical background, and I
mm.
worry that that's what I'm doing and it's not going to be working.
But I do feel like
But
presenters. I feel like if I'm watching a TV show, I would like the presenters to speak like that and speak properly. And now we've got all these kinds of terrible regional accents with like mainstream presenters. And I'm like, I can't listen to the news from you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you know anything about the news. I feel like the BBC voice should make a comeback.
have you watched any of I'm a Celebrity this
No,
year?
not this year, no.
So they've got Tom, I can't remember his surname, but he was the presenter on one of the dating shows.
Oh
And
no.
oh, you would love him because he speaks absolutely precisely and
Oh,
exactly as it
I
should be. And
maybe I
his
should watch it.
vocabulary is just enthralling, darling. And he's great. He's absolutely
I
great.
feel like
You're
they
going to
should
see
bring
a
it
lot more
back.
of him.
I think radio and TV presenters should have BBC news readers especially. I
Uh-huh.
don't watch the news anyway. So we're running out of time. So before we do run out of time, I've got a quick fire round for you.
Okay.
Okay. And because it's Christmas themed. So favorite
Okay.
Christmas movie?
Nativity.
Tree, real or fake?
Oh, real. Definitely real. Sorry for your pink one, but yeah, real. I have toyed with the idea of getting a fake one, but I just love the smell in the morning.
I've never had a real one. I've always had fake. But they've never, this is the one in the other room's green, and it's the first time I've had a green one. There's always
Right.
been white and sparkly or black or pink, but yeah. Okay. Best gift you've ever received.
A partnership. So getting together with somebody on their birthday.
Oh, that's cute. Worst gift you've ever received.
Getting together with somebody on their birthday.
Is he watching?
No, because because the anniversary always gets forgotten because it's their birthday.
Oh, well, I'd have words about that. I'd be like, right, we'll pick a
Yeah.
new anniversary and we're just going to change it a little bit.
So I had my 40th anniversary last year,
Oh.
and done all these things and worked everything out and got all this champagne on ice and everything else. And when I got back, he'd gone out to watch the rugby with his mates. And it was like, okay, okay, this is what 40 means. 40 years of my life mean to you. Fuck off.
Oh no.
But
Mince pies, love or hate?
love.
Do you?
Love. As long as it's a good one, yeah. I like some of the new variations you get as well.
Mm.
I've got a very sweet tooth.
I don't like raisins.
Oh, I love
I
raisins.
know, I'm not a
My
raisin fan.
my parents used to give us little boxes of
Yeah.
raisins to take to school.
Yeah, me
Instead of
too. And it
sweets.
ruined my packed lunches.
Love
I'm like, why don't I get chocolate like the other kids? I don't even like chocolate either. But like, some kind of cake or something would have been good, but no, raisins. I see that they were doing it for my health now, they're better
Uh-huh.
for you. Christmas tipple,
Champagne. It's got to be
champagne.
champagne, maybe a Bucks Fizz, but that kind of rather ruins the champagne, especially if you bought a
Bucks
nice one
Fizz
at
maybe for
Christmas.
breakfast up until 10
Yeah,
o'clock. And then after
and
10
maybe with
o'clock,
a prosecco because I don't like to ruin the champagne because I like
yeah,
to have a good champagne.
yeah.
I worked when I did Little Shop of Horrors. I worked with an actress called Lorraine Chase,
Oh, yes.
who was known for doing the Luton Airport adverts. And she always used to drink champagne all the time because she swore she never had a hangover from it. So I spent 3 months drinking champagne with Lorraine,
Did
which
you
was
get hangovers from it?
no,
See?
no.
It's because it doesn't have the sulfites. That's the bit that gives you the hangover.
Is that right?
Hmm.
All right, okay. So
Yeah.
sulfite-free wine is a good one to do.
Yes, if you look and you
You
have
can find
sulfite
it.
free, it should be hangover free. Favorite Christmas song? We've got literally a minute left. Less than a
Um,
minute.
do they know it's Christmas? Has to be
Sprouts, yay or
because.
nay?
Pardon?
Sprouts, yay or nay?
Oh, yay, yay!
Uh,
Sprouts are so good for you.
oh no. Have you been naughty or nice this year?
Always naughty.
Always naughty. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're literally going to get cut off.
Okay,
Um,
Danny. Thank you. I hope we get to
thank
do a
you.
film together next year or the year
Yes,
after, and I'll
I
definitely
hope
see you at
so.
Horror on Sea 2027.
See you then.
All right.